Welcome to EternalJourney, the podcast.
Greetings to all my knights and padawans out there. You are listening to EternalJourney, the podcast that talks about all things eternal with a focus on limited play. I'm your host, Jedi, and this week for episode 69 of the podcast, we are going to be talking about full draft walkthrough. That's right, you guys gave us some pretty good feedback the last time we did it, so we're going to try to do at least one of these per draft format. So we're going to be taking you through an entire draft picking process to show you how we evaluate cards and what deck considerations we have and whatnot. But first, I want to welcome Kappa on the show. John Holio, what's up, buddy?
Yo, what's up, guys?
And another brother from another mother, Alex.
Buenas noches, amigos y amigas.
Sweet, look at that. That's right, we're international now. Booyah. Actually, it was kind of crazy. We had a new viewer, a new player come into the stream on, what was it? I think Monday or Sunday. And then their English, you could tell their English wasn't their first language, and they mentioned they were from Chile, so I spoke a little bit of Spanish to them. Immediately chat blew up with Spanish. I was like, wow, I didn't realize we had so many bilinguals here. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Speaking of Twitch, twitch.tv/Jedi_EJ, where you can catch me, John Holio, and Alex all there hanging out, having a good time, and then them being skilled and me being a Puntawan. Every Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Check it out. Come hang out. Come learn things, ask questions, all the good stuff. We're here for you. Of course, you can't catch us live. You can catch us somewhat offline on YouTube. That's right. Just type in EternalJourney on YouTube and you will find content. Limited content, sealed content, which, all right, draft, limited, sealed, they all fall together. There's some constructed stuff, some tournament reports, some deck techs, and some up-to-date things as well you can catch there. To include our latest video, which are various deck techs regarding the peasant format. This is commons and uncommons only, which we are covering this week because this Saturday, June 6th, is our charity event benefiting Child's Play charity. That's right, all proceeds that are donated are going to go to the Child's Play charity, where they purchase games that are age appropriate as well as the consoles to play them, and donate them to young children that are in terminal care and extended care facilities in hospitals, to kind of lessen the blow a little bit of the stuff they're going through. No kid likes to really go through that. And that's going to do for our announcements. So that leads us into our shout out section. Want to give a big shout out to a couple of returning subs, as well as some new members joining the Jedi Order. Elephants 2 coming in with the sub I'm So Bad has hit their 3-month resub mark, which means they got their Jedi lightsaber, along with Elite Zero hitting 3 months. And man, I keep wanting to say Warsong wrong, but it's We Stream Games Ron. Hit their
I was always wondering what that meant too. It was interesting to find that out.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're a Eternal team or it's just an organization of streamers. I'm not sure because I have seen a couple of war songs running around, so I think it can go either way. But yeah, WSG Ron. So it's not Warsong for Warsong Gulch for you WoW players out there, but it was for me. It's just Minsky, Epic Handyman, fellow streamer. I Spam Links, Super Vaderman, which you're hoping to have on the show soon, top ranked drafter, Fast Ant Gamer, J Rock MTG, Irish Viking 67. No Kappa?
No, that's not the right. No,
but it was a number. It had 6 in it.
Come on, bruh.
All right. But thank you guys so much for subbing the channel. Thanks to you guys, I went ahead and put in order for 3 more emotes. Woot woot. So
nice.
They're going to be on the bit donation side until we unlock partner. But I have a good feeling. We're doing good. Things are happening. The community is absolutely phenomenal. We got 2 hype trains this week, which was absolutely insane. And so yeah, man, like the hype is real. For real, dude. the hype is so real when those things happen. Everyone in chat is getting hyped up. I'm currently working on editing something to happen on screen when that happens to kind of give back to you guys. So yeah.
Something hype.
But yeah, that's good, dude. Thank you guys so much, and all the ongoing subscribers. Really do appreciate you guys. Go a long way towards helping me make all this great content that you guys consume. And I use the term "great" very loosely.
I mean, what's not loosely great is your community. They are fantastic. So
Oh snap, John coming in, nice. I like that. That was slick. That was slick.
That was well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, shoot. Let's see if Alex had the killer layup last week. Let's see if that's gonna be the one for this week. All right, guys, that's gonna do it. Which means we're gonna talk about, or not talk about it. We're literally gonna go through a full draft with you guys. This is Echoes of Eternity 2.0, where they flipped the script on us, and now we are drafting Eternal Echoes Eternal Draft Pack. And like I said, we got really good feedback about the last time we did it, so we're gonna give you another rundown. Try to do it once per set. So without this is going to replace the cracker pack because we're going to do all the crack packs. So John, why don't you go ahead? This is going to be John's draft, but all three of us are going to be contributing information, and we may or may not tell you at a later podcast how the draft goes, all things dependent. But that being said, John, go ahead and break down pack one for us.
do you want every single card named?
For pack one, pick one, sure. Just because,
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably fine.
Yeah, after that, we could probably do the cards in contention.
Okay, sounds good. So we'll start with the commons. We've got Learned Herbalist, 2/2 for 2 at a time. Cleric unit. When you play a spell, you gain 1 life. Summon. You may discard a card to create and draw Secret Pages, which is a 3 mana fast spell, which lets you play a sigil from your deck of your choice. So that's a pretty good one. We got Roland's Favor. 2 and a Justice. You gain 2 armor, draw a Justice Sigil from your deck, slow spell. Then we've got Swaying Sea Karen unit, 3 at a time, 2/4. Muster, create and draw a 1/1 Humbug with. We've got a Centaur Outrider, which is a 5/2 unit for 4 and a fire. We've got Enraged Arachnodon, 7 double primal, 6/6 dinosaur unit with Berserk. We've got a Rally for 3 and a fire. Your units get +2 attack power this turn. Fast spell. Pit Fighter, which is a slightly larger Centaur Outrider. Basically, it's just a vanilla 6/3, 5 and a fire warrior unit. And then we've got a Greed's Reward, which is a 3 and a primal. Fast spell. Deal 1 damage to an enemy. Decimate to draw a card for each damage Greed's Reward dealt. So that's the commons. We've also got, for uncommons, we've got a Deepwood Ranger, 4/4 unseen unit for 5 Huru. Summon Deepwood Ranger gets +2/+2 for each of your units with 2 or more battle skills. Fell Ritual, or Double Shadow spell, kill a unit. Create a 5/5 Nihil Draconis with flying and lifesteal and put it into your void. And then we've got, for 2 and a primal, Edict of Linray, which is a slow spell. Stun an enemy unit. If it's fire or time, transform it into a 0/1 Totemite and then stun it instead. And finally, we've got a legendary in this pack, which is a Bartholo the Seducer. I like to call him Bartholio, because this guy kind of looks like Cornholio a little bit, in my opinion. So yeah. Already liking Bartholio here. He's 3 double justice and 1 shadow influence. 2/2 Aegis unblockable gunslinger rogue unit with an ultimate. Pay 7 to draw a relic of your choice from your deck. So that's the whole pack.
So I obviously if Learned Herbalist would be probably the only common that we would be looking at here, but it's pretty much between Fell Ritual and Bartholio. And it's close. Honestly, it's a little closer that I think most people might notice. Reason being is Bartholio is locking you into, at the very least, Justice, potentially Argentport, and Fell Ritual is just clean cut removal. I think what sets it apart here, honestly, it's the fact that they've upped the weapon count in in the format. There's no real busted weapons in just straight up justice, or and the shadow weapons aren't great. So the draw relic isn't super crazy, but there is some application to it. But I think the 2/2 Aegis unblockable makes it a pretty like unblockable unlimited is very powerful, and
Mm-hmm.
the difference between a one attack and two is huge, right? You're cutting your clock in half.
Yeah, like I mean, I'm willing to play Felrock's Infiltrator, which is a 1/1 3 double shadow unit with no Aegis. You know, like I'm playing that in some shadow decks in the format, so this is looking very enticing.
Yep, and then obviously Fel Ritual is just an absolutely phenomenal removal spell. It gets rid of absolutely everything, even if it's slow speed. That's fine. It's limited, and then you're in Shadow, which means you have Triumphant Return. You have Immortalize to get things back from your Void, which includes the 5/5 Lifesteal and Draconis that it puts in there. So that card is very very powerful here.
Yeah, it's very good too, but it doesn't kill Bartolio. So if these two cards fight, Bartolio straight up wins.
True story. True story. Alex, what's your input?
I like the recursion that you get with the flying lifesteal dragon.
Yeah, it's really good.
I mean, Bart Holio is great, especially since he shares a name with you, kinda. But I really don't like being in those colors. I've tried, trust me, and it just I don't know. You kind of got to high roll it if you end up doing the
You're
battle
not wrong.
deck.
You're totally right here, Alex.
So-
Like no, I Jedi said it too. Like this is actually a really close pick. Like I actually need these for my collection, so that's kind of like helping me tiebreaker here. I only have two of these actually. But I do think Bart's going to be very good in draft.
If you
But
go,
yeah, no, like not looking that forward to this Argenport commitment right here. But
so one thing that we could say right off the bat that is another plus for Bartolio, which isn't too great of a thing, is the fact that we do have Ambition is somewhat of a supported tri-faction, so that would give you access to Horn. And if you pick up a Horn, slam it on, or yeah, I mean, there's some weapons now in the format that definitely make Bartolio better, right? There's the glaive, the Justice Glaive, that +2/+2, and then if Empower, give it an additional +2/+2. So that has Bartolio swinging in for 6, and then obviously Warhorn will get him for 4 plus give you a 2/2. So
there's good options there in Ambition, and then if you go like Carandon, then the ultimate gets really good there because you can fetch your Horn of Plenty or your Waystone Gate.
Of note, it is draw, not play. So you, for example, if you do grab Horn, you're gonna have to pay 7, then play another 3 for a total of 12 to play your Horn. So that is,
sure,
that's just something to think about. All right, I think it is very close, and I could easily lean into Fel Ritual just because it keeps you the most open. That dragon's pretty awesome, but I would not fault anyone, including you, John, for taking Bartolio, and you need it for your collection, so we'll take Bartolio here.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, well, you got rewarded.
What?
Holy cow. Okay. Wait, actually, I don't think this one's that good. Is it? Hold on.
No, it's not great. No, I don't think it's great in draft, but like I have literally 0. It's a legendary.
Are you even ever gonna play it? All right, go ahead and break it down for everybody.
I've almost crafted this a handful of times to try in like an expedition deck, honestly, because it's this is expedition legal, and it's a Minotaur and it's a mage. Like there is some like potential brew stuff for construction with this guy, I think. But sorry, it's a Copper Hall Chancellor. All right, this is a podcast. I'm sorry. You guys want to know what card I'm talking about? It's a Copper Hall Chancellor 1/1 4 triple justice Minotaur mage unit. So very low stats, very high cost, very high influence, but it's got a lot of text on it. It says the enemy player can't copy cards or play units with the same name as another one of their units. Onslaught, it gets plus attack and plus health equal to the highest attack among your other units. So copy cards, I don't think there's any of that in Expedition, really. Like Twinning Ritual is the one thing that does that I can think of. So that doesn't really do anything. Yeah, like
Every once in a while, that's gonna host someone that drafted 2 or 3 of something.
yeah, the rest of it, like play the same name as another one of their units. Like that'll occasionally come up in draft. Um, it's just like this is a tough card. Like even if I draft this year, I don't know if I'm really gonna try and play a card like this like ever really in draft. It's just it's situation after situation, and it's just so hard to cast, right? Like
Especially in Justice right now, where most of the unit, actually in both Justice and Shadow, most of the units have higher health than they have attack, so you're not really kind of breaking it. If you were Rakano, I could see that maybe if you jam a bunch of, you know, like I mean, even then you're just still kind of breaking even. If Burning Core is in play, this guy's a 4/4, but
right.
you can run Inferno Zealot, and this guy's a 9/9. Oh my god! There you go.
Yeah,
You
found it.
Yeah.
So other cards that I'm looking at in the back, I think we can move on to that phase, right? There's a Wormstone, 4 and a time. Relic. When you play a spell, sacrifice Wormstone to play a 7/7 Sandworm. Exhausted. There's a Marsh Dragon, 5 and a Shadow, 3/1. Flying Nightmare Dragon unit. Summon. You may sacrifice another unit to gain health equal to the number of units in your void and give Marsh Dragon that much additional health. There's a Coastal Beastmaster, which is a 5/5 shaman unit for 5 Ixten. Overwhelm, Renown, play a 2/2 flying squirrel. There's a Rugen's Choice. 2 Rakano, fast spell, give one of your units double damage this turn, or move a unit of your choice to the top of your deck. You think any of these others are worth mentioning here?
No, Marsh, Wormstone,
Not really.
Kasul. No, I mean, yeah, nope. I think you covered them all.
Yeah. So I like Marsh Dragon as obviously it's in Shadow. It's great. It's great and limited. I'm looking at Marsh Dragon here. Like I am considering Chancellor. Just because it's a legendary. I need one for my collection for Jedi's sweet cube drafts. It is, I do kind of want to try it.
That card's in none of my cube drafts.
It's not. Maybe it'll make one eventually. I'm actually considering this Rugen's Choice. It can fetch Bartholo, but I don't know if he's like that amazing to want to fetch. I mean, but like Jedi was mentioning, like going into Ambition is not the worst idea. So like I'm open to that idea, and I am open to the Wormstone idea here as well. I mentioned Carrington might be something too, but like I think for me right now, I'm thinking it's between Chancellor and Marsh Dragon.
Yeah.
What are you guys' thoughts here?
Yeah, I think I would take the Marsh Dragon here. It just stakes with our Bartholio thing. I mean, so does Chancellor as well, but like I said, Chancellor, plus it's triple justice, which means
this is just so questionable.
Yeah, I mean we're about to upload a draft video or the other day we did a draft where we had Burden, Grodos Burden that was triple time, and we had 11 sources of time in our deck, and there were still sometimes sometimes where we didn't have enough time. So yeah, I think for me, as much as I want to take the Beastmaster, that card has still eluded me. I would probably still take I would take the Marsh Dragon here. I think it's the highest chance of being in our deck, and it doesn't require very much setup to be good. Alex?
Yeah. What do you think, Alex? Yeah.
I was just gonna say. I mean, I was gonna say rare draft it, but try to play it, see what happens.
I'm 99% sure I've passed one of these in draft before. I'm pretty sure I'm about to pass it again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to the Marsh Dragon. Obviously, that's the right card to pick.
Right?
Yeah,
let's. Yeah, I'm not, like I already got my legendary. Like I'm feeling good about that. I'm like this one. Yeah, no, I don't it's a lot of shift stone or whatever, but no, I in this case, I think it's Marsh Dragon just to help win the draft. I want to win.
You have 180,000 shift stone. I think you're good.
I do, but I mean, I have 0 of these.
Yeah, fair. I understand.
Yeah. Shift Stone. No, it's Marsh Dragon. Let's go. Marsh Dragon. Cool. So we've got a Bartolo and a Marsh Dragon so far.
All right, so pick 3. I'll take this one so you can take a break, and we'll get to Alex
go
next
for it.
one. All right, so pack 3 cards that we're looking at. Of note, there is another Ruden's Choice. There's a Tight Collar, which I think is fine, mainly as a 3/3 for 3. There's in Primal. There's very little reasons to activate or methods to activate Muster in this format, and the 4/4 is all right, but yeah. There's an Amber Ring, which I will mention, but I personally feel like all the rings are too slow, regardless of what they are. Yes, there's some corner cases where they're completely busted. Like we played our Amber Ring with our Grodos Burden because that gave us a free 1/1 that had Exalted. And then Sizzle Steam did mention playing the Justice Ring that gives you a 1/1 weapon, but they had a Blacksmith, the one that draws you a card.
They did add they added the Titan, Submerged Titan to the format, which makes Amber Ring a lot more appealing.
Yeah, true.
If you've already got one of those, but yeah, like you're saying, it's for a specific deck. It's not just a good card.
Yeah. Shadow cards, Spite Feeder, the 1/1 for 1 shadow flying. Summon the enemy player. The player of your choice discards the top 2 cards of their deck. I mean, this is like sub filler. This is a D+ or a C- depending on your deck. Maybe it counts a little bit if you're the units or cards in your opponent's void kind of deck, but not really. There's Curator Spear, but I'm really not excited to play this, especially within the same format with Fury Blade. I feel like there's multiple ways to get something better. These go pretty late. And then a Loyal Watchwing, the 1/1 flying Warcry Valkyrie for 3 Justice. I'm extremely low on this card. It just dies to everything in the air. I've never been a big fan of it. So yeah, honestly, I kind of feel like this is one of those packs where you're just gonna take a medium pick, and I don't think we can go wrong with whatever. You did express some potential power in Ruden's Choice, which once again, having Aegis and Unblockable makes putting double damage on Barholio pretty good. I need to say Bartholo.
That's the Ruden's Choice double damage is only for the turn though.
I mean, if we pick up a Glaive or something, it just gives you insurance, right? Where you feel less bad about getting blown out, But
yeah, I'd be more interested in like the touch available in the next 2 packs if I'm looking to do that.
Yeah.
I'm more interested, I think, in just the fetch a unit aspect of the Ruden's Choice here.
Yeah, I mean, there is some application that I've ran it. I'm lower on it than I was initially, but I've ran it. Really, there's nothing exciting here.
Yeah, I'm honestly looking at Curator's Spear. I think. What are you looking at here, Alex?
I was on the Spear as well.
Yeah. It kills something.
Bad pack.
It's fine. It's serviceable. It's very serviceable.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Let's go.
All right, we'll take Curator Spear here. All right, Alex, why don't you take this pack?
All right, let's see here. Starting with the commons, we have a Hot Blood Barbarian. It's a 2/1 for 2 and a fire. Berserk summon. You may discard a card to create a and draw a what is it? It's really small. Temper, yeah, which does 1 damage, and you may does 1 damage, and the top unit of your deck or weapon gets +1/+1. And then the next card is Icy Gaze, 1 and a primal.
No, we don't need to look at all of these. Cruelty, Icy Gaze, we can skip those.
Yeah, we'll just look at the cards in contention.
Cards in contention.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't even read that one. Yeah, this is kind of a bad pack. There's a Rusty Grenamotive. It's a 2/4 Berserk. When Rusty Grenamotive attacks, you get +1 power this turn. The rare is Blood Right Callus. Summon, sacrifice all your units. Blood Right Callus gets +2/+2 for each of units sacrificed. I'm not really into that card.
No?
I mean,
I've seen that card do some work, but you got to have a very
spicy
specific deck.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I like Rusty Grenamotive here. I think that card's good all around. And we keep talking about Ambition a little bit.
Yeah, I like Rusty here as well. Like, I wouldn't mind being Rakano or Stone Scar. Like, it'd be easier to splash the shadow side here so far. So like I'm more interested in Rakana, but yeah, I don't mind taking a Rusty here at all.
Just for the sake of throwing it out there, I have yet to do this, and I have yet to play one of these cards. But there is a Stand Strong in the pack, which is 2 justice, give a unit +3/+3, and exalted this turn at slow speed. So it's not a combat trick. We have the Marsh Dragon, so I guess later on, if you have 7 Powerling around, you can put the Sandstrong on the unit that you're gonna eat with the Marsh Dragon, and there's a little thing, but that's too cute for me personally.
Too cheeky for me.
Yeah. All right. Let's take the Grinning Motive and we'll move on.
Cool.
Okay.
Ah.
All right. This is yours. Go ahead.
Okay, sure. So all the good looking cards are not really in our colors so far, but so we've got in this pack we've got like a Scavenging Vulture, 1/1 flying, 2 in a shadow, flying +1 attack while you have a unit in your void. There's like this. Some of these cards are just not that great here, so I don't even know what else to mention here. Like maybe mention Recogulator, 4 and a fire, 2/2 and Tomb, play 2 1/1 Grenadin. I mean, the best card in the pack is probably either the Seed of Progress or this Ice Sprite. Right? Like
Yep.
Ice Sprite is a primal card though. It's a 3 and a primal, 1/2 flying. Summon stun an enemy unit. It saves stun while you have Ice Sprite. And then Seed of Progress is a Combre power source, depleted unless you have a Sigil in your hand. It's a seat. So I don't know, like this is just kind of a bad pack for where we're going right now.
I'd take Seat.
Yeah, I kind of would too. Like there's still just a chance we end up in Carandon, ditching the Rusty. That would help fix that. Like I don't think Ice Sprite is great in this draft format.
I agree.
Like, right? There's been formats where it's been pretty good, but I don't think this is one of them. So I'm not looking to get into Primal just for that. And then Recogulator, I don't want to play that ever really in this, like in these last few formats it's been in. Yeah, I don't know, nothing exciting here. What do you think, Alex? Anything?
Yeah, it's just a bad pack. Take the fixing in case, like you said.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything else to add, Jedi?
No, there's just so many things that kill Ice Sprite in this format. So many things. Plus silence effects. Like, yeah, it's just
like relic weapons are very popular, and that dies to every relic weapon. So, well, there's a better fixer. All right, so in this, I'll just go ahead and do this pack again. We've got an Ancient Manual, gain influence in a faction you don't already have depleted power, and then we've got a Seat of Chaos, which is a Stone Scar seat. We've got a Rampage, 2 and a fire, give a unit +3/+1 and overwhelm this turn. So it sounds like Alex is on the seat. What do you think, Jedi?
Yep, same here. I like seat.
Seat?
Yep.
Yeah, let's do it.
So this pack is interesting. This is starting to make me wonder what exactly is the open lane that we're supposed to be in. We're seeing Primal get passed to us, but sadly it's not a Primal we're excited about. In this pack,
they're all just bad Primal cards.
There's Stormlinks, the 2/3 Ambush Cat for 2 Elysian. Wilderness Refuge is 3 time for +1 maximum power. It's a relic, and then Spellcraft 3, Lost in the Mist, bounce a unit. Linrai Evangel, the 2/2 for 2 gives you Overwhelm Fate, gives you a primal source, then Snowfort, Cruelty, and Storm of Feathers. So, man, I guess we could just take it's either between Wilderness Refuge or Linrai Evangel, just because the Evangel is a 2/2 if we end up going into Primal, and then Wilderness Refuge facilitates kind of like the Corendon thing we were talking about. I personally don't like Storm of Feathers. I've lost to it once, maybe twice, but most of the time I don't think it does enough in this format. So yeah, this is kind of a throwaway pick or speculative, one of the two.
Yeah, I don't like any of these cards. The card I'm most likely to play, honestly, is Storm of Feathers here, I think, right now.
All right, just snag that up.
And I think the likelihood of me playing that is very low. So just snatch it up.
second. All right.
So bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a club. That's something. It does a little.
We started
bit
off this pack with 2 legends, so
Yeah.
2 legendaries available. So
Okay.
Hey, that
it's
like
got
All right. In this
you
pack.
could,
Sorry.
I
Go
was
ahead.
just gonna
Alex.
say you could trigger Bartolo for 7 and then play the club the next turn.
Yeah. Paying.
I mean, I'm
Okay.
looking at this club. I don't
Yeah.
know about you guys.
15 all up in the club. 15 for +6/+6 seems good. All right, in this pack, second sight, faceless one, another Linray, Evangel, and then a Crowd Queller. +2/+1 relic weapon for 3 justice. Spellcraft 3, play flash grenade, which gives all your opponent's units a -1 or -2 -0 until end of turn. And then improvise club, +6/+6 relic weapon for 8 shadow, and that's it. Yeah, it's club.
I've seen Mud Rocket.
Yeah, I always thought this card was unplayable, and then I watched Mom stream, and I was enlightened to the way of the club.
I mean, if you get a 2-for-1 out of it, even if it's a medium 2-for-1, you're still up a card, right? So
yeah, the rest of these cards are pretty bad here, so
Yeah.
it's just a club.
Yeah, it's like an easy club. Yeah.
Easy club.
Easy club.
all right,
Wow.
I definitely think we need to start considering primal here. Just at
Really?
least in this pack. I mean, well,
I hate this card. Oh. I mean, actually, it's pretty good in this format.
Oh.
But I've always hated this card. It's just one of those like cards that I hate.
Speaking
I
of
do
cards,
too.
it is an Enraged Arachidon.
Yes.
It is a 6/6 dinosaur for 7 double primal. It has Berserk. That's it. Just the finisher for primal. I don't know. There's a Determined Stranger if we want to be the Stranger deck, which is funny because like we're kind of in those colors. I don't know. Never
This
mind.
is the first stranger like we've seen. That's
Yeah.
just kind of weird. That I mean, it makes sense that if that's the only stranger in all these packs, that it's still going around. But
Yeah, which
like,
Determined Stranger is the 2/2 for 3 time, and it gives all strangers a +1/+1. There's a Valkyrie Aspirant, which kind of goes in our colors, though it's not really great. 1/1 flying Valkyrie for 1 justice. Ultimate, pay 8 to give Valkyrie Aspirant +4/+4. I don't know. And I think I've played 0 burglar or softfoot burglars in this format. So yeah. I don't know. John?
I'm just looking at this aspirant, going
Okay.
like maybe I play this guy. Like I mean, burglar is a consideration for me. You mentioned Arachnodon, but I'm just not into it. And same with going into this stranger lane too. I'm not really into it either. I'm looking at print here personally.
No, I think that's great. I like it when we disagree because then it gives more information for our listeners. Yeah, all right. I'm good with that.
Arachnodon has never. I think it's never been as good as it is right in this format. Like, it's one of those. You know how you have some cards like you randomly hate, like Wretched Raven. You know, for some reason I just don't like this card. Kind of in similar ways. Like I used to always kind of like begrudgingly play him back in Defiance, I think, and just I don't think I ever had a winning game when this guy came out, kind of thing in that format. So, yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Gaudy Showman, 4/1 Oni Rogue for 3 fire. Summon, exhaust an enemy unit. This card has done some work in plenty of formats.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. And then Reverberating Strike and Yeti Traditionalist. So I definitely do think that at least we could say Primal is open, even if it's not anything good or worth being open for. But yep, so I think it's pretty easy. Gaudy Showman here.
Yeah, I agree. I took it.
Hey, Shiny Reverberating Strike versus an Unmake. Unmake is 2-time fast spell, kill an enemy attachment, decimate, kill an enemy additional enemy attachment. I like Unmake.
This looks crazy to me that this is going around. Like, Unmake is a very good card in this form.
Yeah, especially with Disjunction no longer being weighted. I agree with you.
Right. This seems crazy to me. Like, time hasn't looked open or anything in this whole pack, and this is here. This is weird. This Reverberating Strike looks very cool in premium.
Oh yeah, it is. It's definitely one of the prettiest premiums for sure.
Wow. But nope, never gonna play that in constructed. So it's easy unmake here, right? Like
Yeah.
still consider a time splash. We have that seat.
Yep.
So last pick, Coastal Beastmaster. Sure.
And Primal was open. Oh my god. All right. Ooh. All right. We get some decisions here. All right. So pick one, pack two. Our rare starting off with that is Unlock the Vault. This is a 6 Praxis slow spell. Play a relic, a non-weapon relic, and a non-relic weapon. Wait, hold on. Yeah, a non-relic weapon from your void. So once again, long story short, what you get to play is a weapon that goes on one of your units, a relic that goes on you or your opponent if it's a cursed relic, and then a relic weapon. So you get essentially 3 cards for the price of 1 if you have them in your void, and they're one of each type. So it takes a lot of work. I typically try to be okay with this card if I get 2 things back, like maybe a curse relic and a weapon, but I personally am not the biggest fan of taking this card early. Anyway, sorry, I digress real quick. Display of Menace is, I mean, we could consider it, I guess, because we saw Primal. This is the 3 fire Primal Shadow fast spell. Deal 1 damage to each enemy, or kill an enemy relic and give relics in the enemy void, or in the enemy void bound, and or sorry, it's always or. Sacrifice a unit to draw 2 of the top 4 cards of your deck, bottom the rest. Then, of course, some limited all-stars. We have Shardbinder, the 3/2 Overwhelm Mage for 2 time. The first relic ability you use spellcraft or activate each turn costs 3 less. And then the original Windvoke, Wind Conjuring, 3 Justice, fast spell, ready a unit. It gets +4/+4 and endurance this turn. Decimate, invoke Justice. And then the commons really quickly. Bladecrafter, the 2/2 for 4 fire. Summon, draw a weapon of your choice from your deck. Corrupted 6. Overlook Spotter, 1/3 to 1/3 elf for 2 primal. Pledge, +3/+3 while the enemy player has 10 or more cards in their void. Entranced Cultist, the 1/1 for 1 shadow cultist. Summon, give a unit quick draw, which can include itself. Corrupted 1. Unfamiliar Interloper, the 1/1 stranger for 2 non-faction. Summon, gain an influence of your choice. Corrupted 1. Steely Stranger, 1/3 stranger for 2 justice. When 1 or more strangers attack, the top unit of their owner's deck gets a random battle skill. Zulta Exile, 2/2 exile for 3 justice, Aegis, and endurance. Contaminating Ritual, 1 shadow for a fast spell. Give 1 of your units +1 attack, flying, and lifesteal. At the end of the turn, sacrifice it. And then finally, Inferno Zealot, 8/1 warrior for 5 fire, overwhelm, and pledge. All right, John.
Yeah, I'm looking at this Wind Conjuring in this pack for sure. Love Wind Conjuring. It's like premium combat trick, and Invoke Justice often will win you the game.
Yep, I agree. I think it's quite strong. Yeah. Alex, anything to add?
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Easy Wind Conjuring.
Yeah,
right.
Wind Conjurings are definitely one of the non-decisions in this format.
Boom.
Yep.
Hello.
Well, speaking of which, I'll do this one. There's a little bit. All right, there are a couple of cards
This
here.
is some.
Yeah, there's a little something. We have our very own preview card, thanks to John Holio for the podcast. We have Strange Ally. This is the 2/2 Soldier Stranger for 3 Argenport. When a player plays a stranger, they play a -1/-1 curse on a non-stranger enemy unit. Pay 2 and exhaust Strange Ally to give one of your units a random battle skill. Then there is a Two-Face, which is the 2/1 Deadly Cultist for 2 Shadow. Summon, the enemy player discards the top 2 cards of their deck, corrupted 1. And then finally, which may make this a non-decision, is Wind Conjuring. We just talked about it. It's great. So I think Two-Face is pretty easily overshadowed by Wind Conjuring and Strange Ally. There is an argument for Strange Ally because it could kill something on the way in. There's a lot of X1s in this format. We're not the Stranger deck right now, so you're not going to machine gun their whole team. And then, when you have extra power, it's very easy to have 2 extra power every turn. You can exhaust it to give random battle skills. We've seen how great the battle skills can stack in multiples, right? Because it's not going to repeat them. And you get to choose what unit to give it to. So if we have a Flyer or a Bartholo in play, we could make sure we're giving it to those. And it does,
once you have a like an unblockable unit, it's very safe to give it more battle skills.
Yeah. And then so I think there's an argument for that, but man, I don't know. It's kind of hard. Like that requires not setup, but it takes a little bit of time to really get your value off of that. Versus Wind Conjuring, you're just almost always going to get a unit off of it in the form of a combat trick to kill it, and then you get the invoke. I think I would still take Wind Conjuring here.
Yeah, if this Wind Conjuring was, just any medium card, it'd be probably I'd very much be into the Strange Ally, but I think just Wind Conjuring is just too good.
Mm-hmm.
It can't even compare. It just can't compete here.
Yeah, and then
for this pick.
Yep, and you once again have a safe target. You have 3 safe target or good targets in the form of Marsh Dragon, Rusty Motive, and Barholio. So,
any comments, Alex?
No, just looking at the unit count and how we don't have any 2-drops, and I really like Two-Face still. Like, that's actually the card that is pulling me away from Wind Conjuring more so than the Strange Ally. But second Wind Conjuring is like so good.
So good.
Yeah. Like,
you're not wrong about the unit count, but it's still nice and early.
Yeah, it's still early. We might have to focus on it a little bit, but yeah, second Wind Conjuring it is.
Yeah, that's a very good point, though. We're definitely in this current format. We're no longer the lands of 2/2s, where you definitely have to give some priority to the early part of your curve, where you're easily going to be lacking that. All right, John, take this one away, buddy.
So the Conjurings dried up, and we are left with a sad pack here. Cards in contention. There's a Premium Succumb. I'm skipping that one. There's a Felrock's Infiltrator, 1/1/3 Double Shadow, Unseen Unit, Deadly and Unblockable. Mastery 5, draw one of the top 5 cards of the enemy player's deck. They discard the rest. There's what else would I mention here? Token. I guess there's a Inferno Zealot, which we just described a moment ago, and then there's a Token of Tradition, which is tradition fixing. One, you get to choose one of the tradition colors, depleted power, and I don't think really anything else is in contention here. To be honest, what are you guys thinking?
No, I like. Go ahead, Alex.
I was just gonna say I'm leaning token, but I can see taking the How do you say it?
Felrock's Infiltrator.
Yeah, it's in between those 2 cards for me. What about you, Jedi?
Yeah, I'm still not seeing anything that wants to put us in time. Granted, I know it's still pretty early. Yeah, I think I like Infiltrator. Having 2 unblockable units seems pretty strong if we pick up a good weapon later on.
Or just a provisions or 2 for the deck.
Yeah, and it
Siege
blocks
provisions.
And it blocks good.
If you go off the mastery, it's won games and lost me games for my opponent.
The mastery is very good.
Oh yeah, I've definitely lost to Infiltrator. And I think we won. Yeah, I think we had a pretty good win on camera, thanks to the mastery as well. And then with
almost invoke.
And of course, of note, with 2 Wind Conjurings, you can mastery it literally on its first attack, which is something.
True. That's a good point.
So you can,
like that.
Yeah, that does exactly. Yeah.
And you can actually get ahead 2 cards because you get the card from their deck plus the Decimate, the Windvoke. So that's pretty good.
The only thing that's making me kind of second guess that pick is just the Double Shadow, right? Like, even if we end up being just Argenport, like, we're already double justice. We have 3 double justice, 4 if we're considering Storm of Feathers. So in this new world, fixing is hard to come by, and like early doubles in multiple colors, like that can be a pain, but I'm still I like this token is not, if it was a, Argenport plus another color, I'd probably lean into this token, but I think it's just Infiltrator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it has 2 colors that were not in it yet. So
Yeah.
all right,
Hey.
go ahead and take this one, Alex.
So cards in contention would be the Reborn Master.
Be
It's a 2/3.
reborn.
That's the
2/3 and
wrong
also
reborn, but yeah.
your units with 2 or more battle skills, a la Bartolio, get +1 power.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a Promising Pupil, I guess, is in contention because we have absolutely no 4-drops. 2/2 Exalted, Mastery 2. Promising Pupil gets a random battle skill. That's 4 and a time. 4 and a justice for that one. There's a Switchblade Deadeye, 2/1, 2 and a shadow. Switchblade Deadeye has +2/+2 while she has a battle skill. I love how it says he or she on the cards. It's cool. And then, there's another fair look Infiltrator. This one is shiny. The 1/1 deadly unblockable, Mastery 5. Pick a card that either wins you the game or
or keeps your opponent from winning the game anyway.
I'm really liking this Reborn Master. I don't know about you guys, but there's no 2-drops and
Yeah, I'm with it. It looks real good for this deck. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it also works with Rusty Grenamotive as well. It's tough because I almost want the consistency of 2 Infiltrators and 2 Wind Conjurings, so we could just do that combo. But you're right, Reborn Master is the colors we want to be in. A 2/3 is very good because it blocks most of the things in this format, and the fact that it pumps other cards is very strong. So yeah, I like Reborn Master here.
Cool. Let's snap that up.
Boom!
Ooh.
There we go, John.
Ooh.
This one's on you.
Sure. Cards in contention here. The obvious uncommon Dark Mass Stalker, 4 double shadow, 3/5 unit Unseen Cultist. When a unit goes to the enemy void, Dark Mass Stalker gets its battle skills. Mastery 12, the enemy player discards the top 12 cards of their deck. So this is just a solid 4-drop in the format. Sometimes this card can just win you the game. There's also in contention here, I would say this Skeletal Dragon is technically pickable here, but it's not even close to the Stalker. And then there's also like a Burning Core Drake, a Stone Powder Bomber, and an Unfamiliar Interloper. But none of them are remotely close, I think, in power to the Stalker. What do you guys think?
It's our first 4-drop. Do it.
Ooh.
Yeah, keeps this Argenport. I like it.
Cool.
Oh,
wow,
my
man!
God.
So Shadow is very open in packs 2 and 3, luckily, because it was very unclear in pack 1 what was going on. So we're rewarded for being in Shadow at least here.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so in this pack, Urgent Missive, Succumb, and Ensnare are the Argenport cards we're looking at, but they are all overshadowed by Aramot's Defile. 2 shadow fast spell, kill an enemy unit with cost 3 or less, then steal it and put it into your void. So should we get some returns and immortalizes, we'll be able to take their units out as well. So yeah, super strong card, absolutely very good removal in limited.
It's response to the Mag Stranger on turn 2.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just fast clean removal like this makes it really messes up opponents that are trying to be aggressive by attacking it with combat tricks. It really punishes that, which I think there's a lot of that going on. I think Defile is even better than it was 2 weeks ago right now.
Great for destroying a double block too, or a triple block.
Boom.
All right.
Okay.
So here we're looking. There is a display of destruction, which is the Fire Time Shadow. But once again, we're not in time at all right now. And then fire is like a light splash if we're even considering it. There is a Fury Blade, again, kind of taking the spot of Curator Spear, but I think they're somewhat interchangeable, especially when you take influence into account. There is a Token of Menace, which could facilitate, once again, that kind of ambition build. This one will give us Fire and Shadow, with the third color being Primal. And then there is a Switchblade Deadeye. Not as strong in our deck right now, just because we don't have any ways of adding battle skills to it, but that doesn't mean it can't later. 2-1 for 2 is still completely serviceable. It is a 2-1 for 2 Shadow. Switchblade Deadeye has +2/+2 while she has a battle skill, which I believe you actually covered in an earlier pack. So
we did, yeah.
She is an unseen, so we're kind of have a handful of unseens. Should we get any kind of random, the Outcast, we could probably accommodate her as well. We'd probably slam her anyways, but we do have, I think if we take the Deadeye, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 unseens, because Stalkers, Dark Mass Stalker is an unseen, correct?
I think so, yeah.
Yep, unseen cultist, perfect. So yep, yeah, we're gonna take Deadeye here. I think it's pretty easy. I don't see a reason to take the token just yet when we may or may not play Fire. So
I think it. I mean, I think it is pretty close, but I'm also leaning towards Deadeye. What do you think, Alex?
You guys know how much I love fixing, but you're right. There's just basically the Rusty Grenna motive.
Yeah, I'm completely willing to just ditch Fire completely, all the way at this point.
Like it could be solid, straight Argenport,
Right. Yeah, we're getting there with a good battle skill setup already. So I mean, this could actually be a good Argenport deck. So
the Switchblade Deadeye also, it goes with the Windvoke, right? Because it pumps it. Even
it does,
more.
And like just any shadow deck in this format, like Deadeye is usually just a solid card, especially in Argenport. Like it just has a lot of available synergies. Like I'm still looking to pick up that Siege Revisions, and then we'll probably end up with at least one of those 1/1s that gives quick draw, which are just fantastic with these Deadeyes, and that'll just go great with our Reborn Master we already have. So yeah, let's just take this Deadeye.
Ooh, there's a little discussion in here. All right, Alex. So
for me, you want me to go through the cards that are in contention?
I mean, I think we can ignore the Fire cards and just do the Shadow cards, honestly.
Yeah, it's a touch of resilience. So give one of your units Revenge, then give a unit weapon or spell in your hand Revenge. That works really good with the Deadeye. That's your +2/+2 right there. I'm kind of liking Contaminating Ritual a lot more these days, especially with Recursion. That's a 1 and a Shadow. Give one of your units +1 fighting and flying and lifesteal. At the end of the turn, sacrifice it. But I'm on the touch of resilience here, I think.
What do you think, Jedi?
Yeah, I like Contaminating Ritual. I'm a little bit higher on it, but I think especially being able to give touch of resilience to Reborn Master, Darkstar. Yeah, we just have so many good units where it actually does decent work. And, there's the slight upside where, obviously, actually, I was going to say Defile, but just touch of giving Revenge to Wind Conjuring seems pretty busted as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, right. Like, it's great when you have removal. It's, like, even better when you have Invoke.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, this I like a touch in a deck like this a lot. Yeah, this is looking very spicy. Let's grab this touch.
All right, there's a Dive Bomb. Yeah. Yep, pretty much. There's Soldering, Smithing, a Double Helix Drake, a Succumb, and a Dive Bomb. And the reason why, for those of you that are a little new, the reason why we don't like Succumb is a 4-cost slow spell for 4 Shadow. The enemy player sacrifices an uncursed unit of their choice, so there's a little bit of upside there. Then discards cards from the top of the deck equal to its attack. The reason why I say that first line of text is the upside is because curses are just straight up bad for your opponent. Plain and simple. And one of the drawbacks to giving them the choice is that, let's say earlier in the game you permafrost one of their units, later in the game that essentially shuts off your Succumb. Well, Succumb has that built-in clause, so they can't sacrifice the permafrost unit. So there's a little bit of upside.
Or like Plagued Griffin, they would actively be wanting to sacrifice that one in particular.
Timidity, that's another one that's in the format.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some curses that you would like to stay on the unit, but you are still giving your opponent the decision. the chance to pick whatever unit. So they're always going to pick the unit, which is not the one you want them to
They're
pick.
1/1 cultists.
Yeah, it just I mean, yes, there is a good best case scenario where you keep the board clear, and then at some point they play their bomb, and that's the only thing left, and Succumb nails it. But there's just too much flexibility in this card for it to be very good. That I think if you need playables, you're all right playing one maybe, but overall this card is just not something you should be putting into your deck.
In this format, I think there's no card that puts a bigger smile on my face when my opponent plays it against me.
Yep.
I'm always feeling pretty good about my chances when my opponent is trying to succumb me.
Yep. So I think it's a pretty easy dive bomb here.
Agreed.
Makes us
Like,
less
I don't
vulnerable
know
to
that
flyers
I'll-
either.
Yeah, like there is definitely a chance dive bomb makes the deck still, but like that's a card like I'm always looking at. Like I know some people are pretty high on it, but like
I personally would play dive bomb over feathers.
Storm.
Yeah.
Oh, easily. Yeah. That's great here.
All right, here you go, John.
So in this pack we've got a Mysterious Waystone, which is an uncommon 5 double shadow cursed relic. At the end of the cursed player's turn, deal 1 damage to them and gain 1 health. When you sacrifice a unit, increase its ability by 1. There's also a Soul Drain Smithing and a Spellstorm Stranger, but we don't like neither of those are even remotely in contention here. This relic is fetchable by Bartolo. We have at least 1 chance to sacrifice here, and I think it's just it's not completely unplayable even if you don't sacrifice. It's still just kind of okay card. So like yeah, easy Waystone here for me. I assume for you guys as well.
Yeah.
Boom.
Take a flyer on the Waystone.
Cool. There's a Deadeye in this next pack, another Switchblade Deadeye, and then there's a Token of Destruction. And I'm looking more and more at being just art here. So Switchblade Deadeye is my pick here. What about you guys?
Agreed.
Jedi?
Yep, I concur.
Cool. And last pick, Urgent Missive.
Easy Urgent Missive.
Easy clap. Okay.
Ooh.
This is spicy.
Yeah, man, our pack 1 was semi-garbage, but like, man, we're having some pretty good picks. You guys are gonna get some good insight here. All right, so now we can probably start taking out more cards. We just have a good idea of being Argentport. So the cards we're looking at in this pack, we have a Rageheart Paladin, the 4/2 Paladin for 5, Justice, Lifesteal, plus health equal to the highest cost among your relics, which we have no relic. Well, we just picked up a Waystone, so we have that. There's an Enchanted Plate Mail, +3/+3 relic weapon for 5 Justice, Pledge, Spellcraft 2, Play Inspire, which draws you a card. Wind Conjuring, which we talked about at length, and then Flame Bathe Reformation. 3 Shadow for a relic. Once per turn, you may pay 2 to give one of your units Exalted, then sacrifice it. Man, this is dude. So
that goes really good with the Deadeyes.
Yeah, we have Flame Bathe is really darn good in our deck with a lot of like doing it
Waystone.
to. If we pick up some kind of recursion, I'm almost okay doing it to Bartolo to give our Marsh Dragon unblockable in Aegis. Like we're definitely lacking a little bit in the unit department right now. We're still at 8, but I think if as long as we take them a little aggressively, and this pack will be all right. It goes very well with our Deadeyes, like what Alex was saying, because we can sack our 2/1s, but when we're sacking them at the end of the turn, they're becoming 3/4/3s, so that's pretty powerful. But man, a 3rd Windvoke, like that's not horrible either, because I'm perfectly okay not decimating one and just using it for the removal. So
sure.
I don't know. Alex, start us off before we go to John. Which one of these two are you digging?
Because I'm probably going to watch John play these games. I want to see him go off with this. Yes, thank you for highlighting it. That the Flame Bathe Reformation. You can just go off with this card. I think I've seen people go off. I've tried it. There's already 2 Wind Conjurings. So it's like I think I would take my chances with this Reformation or Reform.
John?
That's
Yeah. What I'm looking for when I'm considering playing this Flame Bathe Reformation card, I'm looking for relevant battle skill, which we are like right now we're relevant battle skills dot deck. So that Flame Bathe is looking pretty good here. Yeah, like especially if we end up with that siege provisions, those two cards go well together. Obviously, yeah, we're a little low on the unit count, but like being able to take units that are otherwise no longer useful and like turn those into weapons that will make you able to attack again is actually like really good. Like this seems like it's a tricky card to play with, and you do need to have your deck kind of set up for it. But I think we're on the right track for this card to be very good here. So I'm looking at this Flame Bathe here.
All right, let's do it.
Cool. I do want to get some recursion going. That is for sure. So this next pack is a little less exciting. Cards in contention for me here, I would say Promising Pupil. There's a Willbreaker, which is a 2 and a Justice, 1/2 double damage. Unseen, summon, play a -1 attack curse on each enemy unit with flying. Also corrupted 3. And there's a Purge Driver, for Triple Justice 3/2, summon silence and kill a multi-faction enemy unit, corrupted 5. And then there's a Contaminating Ritual, which we already just described. And there is a Rectifier, but we are very far going into the new now double time Rectifier. So I'm personally, I think, looking at either the Promising People or the Willbreaker here. What do you think, Jedi?
Man, so with Reformation, I almost like Contaminating Ritual even better.
Really?
Because you can Contaminating Ritual your... I mean, this is living the dream, right? But you can Contaminating Ritual your Switchblade to make it a 5/3 flyer. And then instead of sacking at the end of turn to the Ritual, you sack it to the Flame Bathe. So then you're giving Lifesteal Flying and a +5/+3 to one of your other units. That seems super busted, but I think you're right. The fact that we need... I just wanted to throw it out there because that's some pretty legit
No, it
synergy.
is good. I bet we're going to pick up a Contaminating Ritual before
yeah,
this pack's
exactly. And that is something, one of the benefits of knowing the format, knowing what cards go late and what cards are high picks. And I think you're right. The Willbreaker double damage is great. It goes even better with Reformation. So giving like Bartholo double damage and a +1 plus, like, oh man, that's so good. You're swinging for 6 a turn. It's so yeah. I
also Corrupted in general it's like free stats when you have Flame Bathe Reformation. So you definitely want to prioritize Corrupted units just in general.
Yep. So
and it's also just a unit just in general.
Yep. Of note, if we had taken the Chancellor, the highest attack we have right now is 3. So
right.
So, and the corrupt unit also fuels the Mysterious Waystone. So yeah, I think
I think that Chancellor basically wants to be in Stone Scar, right? Like Stone Scar is kind of the attack power matters colors in the format.
Yeah. So yeah, I like I like Willbreaker here as well. It's a 2-drop. It's aggressive. It goes very well with a handful of cards in our... Yeah, I like it.
What do you think, Alex? Willbreaker or...
Yeah, I'm on Willbreaker. I mean, I was kind of looking at Purge Driver. It seems like there's more multicolor units going around. But...
I mean, it is like I considered it for a moment just because like I just mentioned, Corrupted makes it like just it is kind of good with Waystone and Reformation. And it potentially kills something, but like basically you're just looking to kill an 8/8 giant with something like this for the most part, which is not a bad thing to be killing. But
the Beastmasters, any one that's in those 3
yeah,
colors.
there are Beastmasters now. It's just like the Triple Justice is a big turnoff, and like it's not even an unseen. It has no battle skills. I don't know.
Right.
It is kind of close though. Like I actually didn't mention it as being a contention because I'd already kind of like ruled it out, but I did consider it.
I'm also on Willbreaker though.
All right, cool.
All right, Alex, go ahead and take this pack.
All right, cards in contention. Let's see. There's another Dive Bomb. It's shiny. Give 2 of your units +1/+4 and flying this turn. And what else in contention? I guess there's in Trance Cultist, actually. Summon, give a unit quick draw. It's a 1/1 Cultist for 1 shadow. A Dark Betrayal. It does sacrifice a unit, doesn't it? Choose, it's
It
6,
does.
6 in a shadow. Choose a unit in enemy player's hand to steal and play. It gets charged. Sacrifice it at the end of turn. You may exhaust the unit to play Dark Betrayal for 2 less. Someone did this to my hammer hand. I was very sad. But I think those are the cards in contention. Really unfortunate that we can't play the Strange Gladiator. Great card.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're very far away from that, but that is a fantastic limited card.
I felt bad about having it done to my corpse boom like 3 times, and you just totally made me feel less bad about that. Having it done to your hammer hand. Oh god, I think I would have to log off at that point. I think I would have to log off and put it away for a while.
It was the last game of the draft, and they get the shade too. It's so rude, man.
Oh my god. Shout out to Sirza Sparkles. Rude. All right. Oh god, oh man, that hurts my soul, dude. I feel for you, bro.
This is actually kind of close for me.
This Dark Betrayal, which I never would normally look at. Just because of the sacrifice stuff we got going on. But if it's not that, I would take the Cultist, I think.
Yep. I'm on Cultist here. We have 2 Switchblades, which obviously is a wombo combo.
It is.
It's 2 bodies. It still fuels the Mysterious Waystone and the Flame Bathe Like, yeah, I like Cultist here.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Cultist is really good for this deck. It's safe. Dark Betrayal is a cheeky pick. If I was feeling like a extra cheeky draft,
maybe we'll get a late one.
There's a chance for sure because this is not a high pick.
It's not a good card.
So. Yeah, Entranced Cultist looking quite good in this deck. So okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Why?
Oh no! I just saw it.
Yeah, right. It's like the uncommons always stand out, and then you finally see the rest of the pack. Okay, so in this pack we've got a Pack Conjuring, which is a fast spell, 3 double shadow. Give a unit plus attack minus health equal to the highest attack among units in your void. Decimate Invoke Shadow, and then Triumphant Return. Draw a unit from your void. It gets +2/+2 slow spell. This is honestly like. There's also a Steely Stranger, 1/3 Stranger unit, 2 in a Justice. When one or more strangers attack the top unit. Oh, I think we already read this one. Anyway, it's a Battle Skill Stranger, 2 drop. For me, this is like easy Triumphant Return, because we already called out the fact that the highest attack power we've got going is 3, so this Pack Conjuring is looking pretty medium, honestly. We've already got 2 Invokes going on with our 2 Wind Conjurings, so we're not hurting in that department, and we are desperately looking for some recursion for our deck, and this Triumphant Return is so juicy. What do you guys think?
He's Barrett's hungry in that picture.
Yeah,
hungry with no mouth.
I like Return.
Right? Yeah, we have so many units. This would be just amazing on.
I think Return's pretty busted, and they'll have Exalted when we bring them back half the time. Oh my god!
Oh yeah, we are getting there in our
do it
with our deck here. This next pack has another Reborn Master, which a second one of these would be a huge pickup for us. That's that 2/3 Argenport 2 drop. And there's really nothing else in contention here. There's like a Skeletal Dragon. Right? Easy Reborn.
Easy Reborn.
Easy GG.
Wow, okay. This next pack has another Pack Conjuring.
Shadow has been so open. Holy cow.
Really has.
Yeah.
And then there's also a Sky King Storyteller.
I honestly think it's Storyteller. There's only so much Decimate we can run. And then
right.
And oh man, once again we go back to that whole thing. Our units don't have that high of attack.
They really don't.
So I mean, literally, we're still at 3 attack is the highest attack we have. So Pack Conjuring isn't as strong. Granted, I do think the Shadow Invoke is the strongest invoke out of all of them. But
it's true.
Man, it
Justice
is.
one is quite good.
It's also one Winvoke away from mastering that Storyteller. I like the Storyteller here.
I like the Storyteller as well. It does have a battle skill. We're desperate, almost. We're nearly desperate at this point for 3 drops. We only have 2 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be a great addition to the deck. I really am kind of upset that we haven't seen a single Siege Provisions available in any of these packs yet. This deck could really use the Siege Provisions. But yeah, I think it's the Storyteller here.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's Storyteller. We need units. Speaking of battle skills, but all right, so Spore Spitter, Steely Stranger, and Triumphant Return. Man, I really, this might be a little. How many 2-drops we have? We have 1, 2. We have Entranced Cultist, Valkyrie
5.
Aspirant, 2 Reborn Masters, and 2 Switchblades, and a Willbreaker. So wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 and 2 drops. Yeah,
that's a lot.
Man, Steely Stranger has come up a little bit for me in this format, but I like another Triumphant Return. Like, just getting back so much value, dude.
This deck is just begging for recursion. Like, recursion will make this deck like just pop off. So yeah, I think it's an easy Triumphant Return for me here. What do you think, Alex?
Sold.
What did we say?
Boom, never punished.
And if we don't
That's
play
so
it,
funny. So this pack has, of course, a Dark Betrayal in it, available. Still, only 5 cards left in the pack. There's also an Ensnare, 1 and a Justice, fast spell, kill an attacking enemy unit with flying, and there's also a Promising Pupil.
I kind of dig that right now.
The Pupil?
It goes with the theme, you know?
I'm with you.
It really does. Pupil's looking quite good here. We only have 1 for drop. We need units. I think it's a Pupil as well. And like we said earlier, knowing the draft meta pays off, you know, when you're doing your picks, because yeah, you can like defer a good card for your deck because you like basically know you'll get offered one later. And so here we're offered that Contaminant Ritual. And then there's also, it's like up against an Ensnare. And for me, that's an easy ritual. What do you guys think?
Yeah, especially with 2 Triumphant Returns now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be broken. Wow. Cool. In this next pack, yeah, it's like a Token of Creation and a Dive Bomb.
I mean,
there's no way we play another Dive Bomb with what we've already got here, right? So maybe just take the token in case I open some busted Fire or Time Legend, because we've already got some other Fire and Time fixing available.
I agree.
That's a good call.
2 cards that are playable in our deck in this pack on offer. We got a Rage Heart Paladin. Have we described one of these yet? I don't.
Yeah,
think
yeah,
so.
we have.
We did. Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's a Skeletal Dragon as well.
The question is, what do we value more? Do we value the 4 attack and lifesteal, or do we value the flying? Because I mean, both these cards are super medium in our deck. Oh well, I guess Rage Heart Paladin is a little bit better. We do have Reformation. And,
I think Paladin is much better.
Yeah, you're right. I like Paladin.
And the Waystone, right? Doesn't the Waystone count?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, we have. I am looking to play this Waystone here. So yeah, that's a great way to buff the Paladin, and Reformation is also going to be there. So there's 2 relics that we have. And he's got a battle skill. We're looking for that. And he's a 5-drop. We've only got 1 of those. Like, it's exactly what we need for the deck, I think. And a last pick, Overlook Spotter for the pool. Shiftstone Spotter.
You pledge it. Ooh.
In case we open a busted time card.
Ooh, so this pack is this pack has a lot of decisions.
This is a juicy pack, dude.
Or
oh my god, it's so good. This pack is so
a busted Argentport card.
Okay,
wow.
So cards in contention. We do have a flyer. We do have a unit, but man, well actually, shoot, I'll just go over them all. Okay. We're not gonna worry about Watchwing. We're not even gonna worry about Fledging. There's Hoover Fledging, 3/3 Flying Bird for 5 Justice, but then there is also a Streetwise Informant. This is a 1/4 Minotaur Rouge or Rogue. It is 4 Argentport, Endurance, Unblockable. So it works with both our Reborn Masters, and it's another unblockable unit. And then pay 5 to gain 2 armor. There's a Blackguard Sidearm, which is the +2/+1 quick draw weapon for 3 Shadow that we can play on several of our unblockable units. And then and our endurance units, and our, yeah, we just have all the things. And draw strength, which is the,
Oh, sorry.
you're good. Draw strength, which is the fast spell for 1 justice. Give one of your units +1/+1 this turn for each enemy unit. Then decimate the top 3 units of your deck at a +1/+1. And then finally, my favorite and yours, Spiteful Strike, the fast spell for 1 shadow. Give a unit +2/+1 lifesteal and quick draw this turn. So I feel like we should just take this pack and our deck's done. Like everything.
Yes, that would complete it.
This,
you're right.
We could play all 4 of those cards. I don't even like Fledgling, because granted, it will give a +3/+3 in flying to something, which is not completely irrelevant, but I feel for our deck in particular, the other 4 cards are actually better. And
absolutely,
oh man, this is actually extremely tough, because we could Spiteful Strike and sack something to reformation that turn. We can Spiteful Strike with all the things with all the battle skills on it. Streetwise Informant, just another unblockable unit that you don't have to worry about. There's very little removal in this format that kills this guy. And
2 Reborn Masters make it
even better.
Oh my gosh, two battle skills on this guy.
So and then there's obviously the sidearm, which is almost like a Spiteful Strike.
Okay, so I think we can like put it between the Informant and the Spiteful Strike, right? Because like these 2 commons are more replaceable. Like,
yes,
Finest Hour is boosted, Draw Strength is boosted, and we already have like Entranced Cultist for like a quick draw effect, and like this would be just fantastic on a lot of our units. But I think we'll have another chance at something like these effects, and I think these the Streetwise Informant and the Spiteful Strike are just a level above those.
Yeah, it's really tough, because the fact that we have 2 Reborn Masters, a Willbreaker, 2 Switchblade Deadeyes, and an Aspirant makes me almost want to take the Blackguard Sidearm, because you go play one of these aggressive 2-drops and play that on the 2-drop on turn 3, and that's a Wombo combo. But I think you're right. I think, especially at 14 units, man, I'm almost leaning towards the Streetwise Informant. And I hate to pass a Spiteful Strike, but we have some pretty good tricks as is right now.
We've got the 2 Wind Conjurings for sure.
We have the Wind Conjurings. We have the Touch of Resilience as well. We have a Contaminating Ritual, which somewhat does what Spiteful Strike does. Not as good, obviously, but somewhat.
No, but I mean, if we've we could already have given the unit quick draw, with our Entranced Cultist, for example, and then it's practically the same thing.
Man, I think because of our low unit count, and we definitely want units, I think it's Informant here.
That's what my gut was telling me, because
that's what my gut is telling me as well.
Okay, cool.
It's so close. It's like this is a really tough pack.
It is a tough pack. Yeah, I was like,
let me man, I'm gonna actually use a screenshot and throw that on the Twitter. Let us know in the comments down below. I know I say that, I'm trying to actually cut back on that, because I know that's one of the whole like, hey, leave comments and like and reply, and I'm moving away from all that because it's kind of pointless. But I actually am interested. If you guys are listening to this and you remember whenever you're done listening to the podcast, definitely tweet at us or tell us on Discord or something, like what you would have taken out of this pack, because I think this is very close. I think there's a lot of decisions, but I think at the end, the Streetwise Informant does a very good amount of work for our deck. It's a shame. God, this deck wanted a Glaive so bad.
And we never got our provisions, so it's kind of annoying.
No siege provisions either,
I don't think there's been one EoE draft I've had where I wasn't... there literally was not a single provisions in any of those packs. Like, we never got one offered.
That is so frustrating.
I don't think I've ever had that happen. What about you guys?
I'm playing against a lot of them, so I think, I don't know, people have come up a lot on that card, I guess.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. We'll take Streetwise and move on. That's definitely the pick.
All right, that's oof. Rewarded.
Boom.
We're so rewarded.
Oh, discipline, baby.
God,
Get another one.
We are so rewarded.
Oh, all right. Yep. There is a Spiteful Strike, and that's literally even the only other. I think the only other card we would consider this pack is Civil Peacekeeper, and I'm super low on this card. I don't know. I just hate paying 6 for a 3/3, even though I understand the ability's decent. Yeah, it's just we're slamming Spiteful Strike here.
Peacekeeper is way better if you have like Beach Boy or something to like
Combo.
ensure the stuns. But yeah, I'm with you on that one. It's easy Spiteful Strike here.
I was gonna mention.
Sorry.
No, just that the Spiteful Strike is ×6, so we might have had a chance to see another one, and the Informant.
Yeah.
was not. So and it happened. I wish I would have said it because I would have sounded like a.
Well, you just that count. I'm counting that because like I also had that thought. Like I don't know about you guys, but I'm doing that like boosted kind of thought process kind of in the background here sometimes. I guess we should be vocalizing that here, but yeah, we have been doing it some. And I guess if you don't even know what we're talking about when we say boosted, like these curated packs have like, even though there's commons, uncommons, and rares, like as far as levels of occurrence, there's additional hidden levels of occurrence. If you go to Direwolf's website, you can read all about it. But like certain cards have a ×6 multiplier to have them show up in the packs. Is basically what we're referring to when we say it's ×6 boosted or ×3 boosted or whatever. So yeah, that's a great point, Alex. While you're going, why don't you do this pack here for us?
Okay, let's see here. So in this pack, in contention, if we can splash it, a Horn of Plenty. I don't know if we have enough time fixing 5.
So there's one there, and then there's at least one or two in the pool.
And there's also
there's one in the pool.
Yeah, so there's 2. Okay. Maybe. You never know.
Yeah,
there's not much else in contention here. We already have a club. We don't need 2 clubs.
Absolutely not.
And then there's no other cards in our color even. So I think this is just an easy horn.
The only thing I will throw out there as kind of like an alibi is the fact that we did know that Primal was open in pack 1, so there's a pretty good chance that Primal will be open in pack 4. And
you keep saying Primal was open, but those were all such bad Primal cards.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But I mean, it's just
like,
something.
I mean, that was like
the
open with quote.
Like
I'll say it was open with quotation marks. I mean, but I think most good drafters know that Sprite's not good in this form.
The
card? So
I mean, the only unseen we would look at would be the 3/2 give something Aegis, right? Is that the only unseen that's in Primal that we're excited about?
Yes, like this one, we do have the battle skill deck, and I'm still not looking to splash this guy or anything here. This Deepwood Ranger, who's on offer in this pack.
Actually, you're not wrong. Like this guy could easily be an 8/8 for 5 in this deck.
Yeah, this is if we had blue splashes available already, and maybe one other, like I would consider a Ranger. Like this is like the best Deepwood Ranger deck I've probably ever seen because we really got there on the battle skills.
Yep,
but we're not Primal at all. So yeah, I think Horn of Plenty is like definitely I'm considering actually playing that card.
Mm-hmm. No, I think it's
like it's fetchable. You can get them with Bartfolio.
It is fetchable. I picked it. So this is looking a little weaker for these packs 1 and 4, but we really got there in 2 and 3. So
yeah,
I'm definitely worried about it.
I'm definitely glad we took the Informant then, because I feel like I guess there's the Black Alley Bouncer, and there's also an Infinite Hourglass if we want to worry about battle skills. Bouncer can make this deck. I think it's fine.
It's not horrible. It's serviceable.
He's serviceable. You're not wrong about the Hourglass and the battle skills. Like I am considering Hourglass as well.
That's so cheeky. Oh my gosh. Like more time splashing. Right?
Hey, that actually is a relic we can grab with Bartolo and play it in the same turn if we have 8 power. Just saying.
Yeah.
Man, so where are we at unit count? What's our unit count again? 15?
It's 15.
We're right at the
15
precipice.
with 2 conjurings, which can be units, and also
the returns,
the recursion package. So
it has to have come out and died though to count as a. So it's like I like one at least.
Yeah, all right. I could see if you wanted to be cheeky and take the Hourglass here, but if not, I
don't think so.
I think personally, I would just take the Bouncer to have that cushion, be safe.
Yeah, I'm with the safety net here, even though it's like a vanilla unit, which is really lame for. There's a chance it makes the cut here. So in this pack, again, nothing jumping out at me. I'm looking at this ancient manual now that we're
Yeah.
considering a time splash.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The third time source.
Yeah, 3 time sources for 1 card. That's exactly what it would be.
Shadow cards we're looking at are illicit armament, which is give a relic weapon that you have equipped at the moment +4/+2 for 2. There's a Gorgon Fanatic, which is the infiltrate, sacrifice Gorgon Fanatic to draw 3 and gain 3 life for a 3/2 for a 3 felon. So, and then a Direwood Rampager, which 6/4 vanilla for 6 shadow. It's very replaceable. Yeah, I think it's ancient manual here.
Cool. Let me add this fixer back in.
Oh my god, another Casual Beastmaster.
I'll go ahead and put Unmake back in the pool here, or back in the deck.
I think we're probably gonna end up cutting it, honestly.
Yeah, probably, but
that's fine.
So in this pack, I mean, literally nothing.
Yep, literally nothing.
So just take a Shiftstone Titan, whatever. Okay, so in this next pack we have only thing in shadow or Argenport, Cabal Scavenger, a 1/2 lifesteal, 1 in a shadow unit.
Do we like that over Aspirant? I don't think we do, but
no, I don't think so. Like, no, definitely not. It does have lifesteal, which in this deck is relevant. And we do have some relics for the trigger, but no, I don't think we're playing any of these cards.
Mm-hmm.
To be completely honest, but I think I'll take it just in case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah, another just non-pick. Nothing exciting in this pack. There's like a Crowd Queller, I guess, is probably the pick here.
Yeah, so this is one of those prime examples where we're pretty sure the people that are passing to us are on Argenport as well.
Pretty much, but like, there's just nothing that exciting. Like, I mean, the Beastmaster and the Sauropods are exciting cards, but you have to be in such a specific deck to even consider those cards.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you saw how little fixing we ended up with in this draft versus the last. I mean, if you guys tuned into the last EJ Crew draft, we were fixed out of our minds, right? Mm-hmm. Wasn't that a 4-color nonsense deck that did quite well?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was also like the 4-color deck as well, because everything in it only had a single influence minus 1 faction. So yeah, True. It was about as best as we could ask for.
So yeah, I just picked up that Crowd Queller. Probably not going to play it. In this next pack, there's again nothing really for us here. I guess a Coastal Curator probably doesn't make the deck.
We have enough units that goes in the pool for sure.
What do we got here? And then all blue cards. None of them exciting again.
Death from Above gives 2 battle skills.
Whatever.
There's a Blaze. Woot woot.
Yep, definitely blazing here.
And then Greed's Reward. Yep.
Last pick, Greed's Reward. Okay. So we have a spicy looking
Argenport deck.
Argenport splashing time?
Maybe. I guess we'll have to look at the deck building. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. There's definitely some serious power in, especially with all the unblockable units we have, but I don't know if it's worth the inconsistency. I'm not sure. So
it's just one card that's like a late game card.
And we're not sacrificing too much as far as our fixing goes to accommodate it, so I can understand that. I don't think we should touch our units. Our units look fine unless you want to get rid of Back Alley Bouncer. That's the only thing. But even that has some application with Reformation, because that's the highest attack cost unit we have. So
hey, he's tied for Rage Heart.
I mean, I think the Urgent Missive is an easy cut.
Oh yeah,
right?
for sure. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, we're not
the Unmake.
With 3, so
yeah, 3 is like, if we had 4 sources, I would want to play this, but it's so sketchy. I agree.
And then, so with 3 unblockable units, I'm not particularly high on Dive Bomb, but then we're very soft of flyers, so maybe we still keep it just so we don't lose the.
I don't know that we care that much. We like have lifesteal, recursion, and like just kind of life gain as well.
Do we?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, I think we can shore up that weakness to flyers just by and we have Waystone too. We just can like take
yeah.
think about it like we'll just be absorbing that flying chip damage we take via life gain. I think for the most part, that's kind of how I'm seeing it anyway.
Yeah, and I like
As far as cutting dive bomb, I don't mind that. I prefer playing dive bomb in decks with where I'm lacking evasion and where I have like beefy units like giants and things like that. We are definitely not that deck.
I think if we're gonna run Curator Spear and Crowd Queller, I think I'd keep the Queller just because later in the game we could play the Flash Grenade versus Spear is just gonna be Spear for the most part.
I'm completely opposite. I think
I was also opposite.
I like it that it's cheaper and it'll be a 3/1 weapon because we'll probably have a relic between these.
Okay.
Relics we're playing.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. That makes a lot of sense.
And I was actually, when I went to cut dive bomb, I completely reconsidered, and I'm like really thinking about dive bomb plus plus some reformation here. Like, yeah, it might be a little too juicy.
I like cutting club, so we don't have club's our curve stops at 5, and then all of a sudden we have an 8. So I don't think we need it.
Yeah, we're an aggressive deck. Yeah, no, we're an aggressive deck, so that's easy cut as well. We got there with the Spiteful Strike, so maybe we don't need this Contaminating Ritual. Although it does give flying as well, so I don't want to be too hasty there.
And it fuels the Waystone.
Yeah, true. Okay, so
I think we can cut that. I think we can
cut dive bomb.
No, we can cut a unit. Ritual. I mean, you can cut dive bomb as well.
Yeah, when I saw that ritual gives flying too, now I do.
Though I mean, there's a bigger stat buff. Reformation. Yeah, it's just reformation is 2, right? So we need 6 power to do both. I think that's doable. Yeah, that's
not completely unreasonable.
Yeah, I think that's doable, and the stat line is significantly better.
Okay.
But yeah, because we have Defile, we have Touch, and we have Spiteful Strike. I think it's okay having a dive bomb for the late game to close out a game as well. Because, yeah, I don't know. I think I actually do like dive bomb here just to give us a little more reach.
Okay, so I do kind of want to cut either like this Cabal Scavenger or this Back Alley Bouncer.
Let's do Scavenger.
I'm with that. Okay. And so now we're at 16 power, right? Yeah. So what do you think? I think this is like a 17 power deck. It's like pretty aggro. We do have some invokes though.
Yeah, I think I would still run 18 just so because that way we can always decimate our Wind Conjurings.
I would also try to run 18.
18 here? Okay, so we need 2 more cuts.
Which makes me like the Contaminating Ritual, I think, go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's either that or Dive Bomb.
I agree.
Yeah, okay.
And there's a little bit of overlap there with Spiteful Strike, so...
There is, yeah, exactly. Like, that's strictly better. Well, not strictly better in this deck, actually, but it's... It's more flexible. Is it the spear? I don't know. Like we're kind of light on removal.
Yeah, no, I don't think I want to let go of spear.
I think this just snipes something. I like spear just fine here. Like, I'm again looking at this dive bomb, and I'm thinking again about 17 power.
I mean,
I like to be greedy.
See, and for me, I almost want to like slam cut Argent Horn of Plenty. So our fixing is just great.
Cut all the fixing, and just go straight Argentport.
But I can easily see me being wrong. You know what I mean?
No, you're not wrong.
See that.
It's just like it. The only reason I'm not slamming Horn is because our fixing is like weak. Three sources is like bare minimum. It's just like Horn is so good when you're buffing unblockable units and like lower statted units, which generally we have here. And then it's just insane with Exalted. it's just so good here. The only thing that makes me think you're right is just our severe lack of fixing.
Well, I mean, if you want to give it a shot, we're also a little influence heavy with double justice and double
We are.
shadow the whole way up the curve. But I mean, I can see it. Like if we get everything online, the problem is if we get this deck online, it's just busted. But
Right.
if we don't, how busted is it? But yeah, let's go ahead and try it. We do it for science. Let's cut dive bomb. We have
Alright.
we have 3
cut-
unblockable units, and we get high roll flying or unblockable off the promising pupil. So
What were you about to
now
say, Alex?
I was gonna say, do you add back the contaminating ritual and do 17 power?
well, the reason why we wanted to run 18 was for the win. All right, so what's more important to us? Do we want do we want to efficiently hit the wind conjurings? Like that's the decision. The reason to run 18 power, I think this deck can run 17 power. I'm just a little worried about decimating. So normally with decimates, when I have a heavy decimate deck, which I guess we don't have a heavy deck, it's only 2 of them, but
Man, so many double shadows, double
primal
justice.
or justice, yeah, double justice.
Yeah. This splash is looking quite rough here. I don't know. I think I'm gonna cut this horn for now.
Okay.
And then let's just put this dive back in there, right?
Yeah, I really do. I don't
Is that
think
right? So that'd be 18 here.
Add power. Looks right. Yep, there you go. And then let's see what's more important. Barth. That's funny. Both of our 3 drops are double justice and unblockable, and they're both double justice, double shadow. So I guess it doesn't. Do we just do 9 and 9?
I think so, right?
Yeah. Well, the only argument to that is that Bartolo is the only double justice that's early, because obviously our wind conjures we want
these
late.
are later.
And then we have Mysterious Waystone and the Dark Stalker that we want, or Dark Mass Stalker that we want. So maybe it is 9-10 or 10-8, maybe.
It could definitely go either way. I'm gonna run it through Shiftstone later on and find out for sure. But it's gonna be something very close to this, I think, is what I'm gonna run.
Yeah, I definitely do. I agree with you.
So we ended up with 16 units, 3 attachments, 8 spells, 18 power. It looks like a solid, aggressive Argenport deck, which I don't think a lot of us have had a lot of success with decks that look like this. I know I have not. I've seen people just pop off with decks that look like this. So I mean, and this one looks particularly like synergistic. So I'm excited to play it.
Yeah,
Like when it's worked for me, it's really worked.
Yeah, I like this.
It's look like a constructed deck going off.
I think the only thing I would have wanted to see out of this deck is, well, 2 things, I guess. Is a really busted big weapon, or a weapon to throw in our unblockable units, and or an eviscerate, just as that safety valve in case our opponent has some bomb. But other than that, man, this deck looks very tight.
I also would have loved a Siege Provisions. I know I've said it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's I would.
I just can't believe we didn't get offered a single Siege Provision. What the heck? The one time we're in this Argenport battle skills deck, and it'd be so good.
Yeah.
Every other time I feel like it's just kind of I guess I'll play a Siege Provisions here. Sure, it's always kind of good. Here it would just be so good.
Literally, this is gonna be dope. Yeah, I think that would have been the one thing. I would have swapped the Waystone for either Siege Provisions or a Glaive or something like that. I think I would have felt pretty happy about it.
Indeed. But yeah, the deck looks solid. The curve looks great.
Speaking of which, I'm also okay with that if you want to try it. If our fixing was a little better, I would have almost considered cutting the Waystone for the horn. And I would have kind of been okay with that, because right now we have I don't know. I think Mysterious Waystone is good, and I think it wins games, but I definitely don't like going all in on it. And sometimes it just doesn't quite do enough sometimes. It's not
I
as
think we
busted as I
have
thought it was.
I think we have incidental sacrifice,
Yeah.
and then we have like literally flame bathe reformation. Like
Which I hope it works out better for you than it did for me, because I had that exact combo in a deck as well, and I think we only got to do it one time, and we were already winning with the reformation, so the Waystone Gate still didn't do anything. I was like, gosh darn it.
Bart Julio helps with that. You can like
Oh yeah, for
set-
sure, the
set the
consistency.
beats you need or whatever.
Yeah.
right. That's why I wasn't even really thinking about cutting this. Was because we can literally just fetch it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
Sweet.
seems good.
All right. Well, if you guys want to check the deck out, you can see it in the link down below. We'll have the Eternal Warcry link there, so you can see the exact deck list to see. And probably in the next episode, we'll talk about how this draft went. I'm excited though. This is dope. I was really worried about the first couple of picks, man, but it came together really nicely.
There. I've officially named it Busted Draft Deck, so now we know it's going to go 7 wins.
Sweet.
Cool.
All right, so that leads us into our what's the play for the week. It's just a friendly reminder, you can start to catch these on article format in Eternal Warcry on a weekly basis, more or less. We'll check out. I'm working on that, trying to figure out the dispersion of it. But anywho, this week's game is, or play, I guess, is, I don't know, they're always interesting to me, but sometimes we're kind of easy. So, okay, let's break it down. Our opponent is on Instinct, so Fire, Time, Justice, or Primal, correction, Fire, Time, Primal. We are also on Instinct. Our opponent is 1 of 3, so they are a little Power Star tier, which makes it a little easier of a decision, but at the same time, still kind of, there's lots of plays, so that's why I like this one. And I actually remembered during the game. We are Geneve, or Instinct, correction, 5 of 5. Our opponent has 2 Humbugs in play, and we have the 1/4 Stormblessed Stranger. I don't know. I always forget this guy's name. Anywho, when you attack, you get 1 spell damage, 1 spell power. Our opponent has a Legion, or no, what is it? Favored Winds, right? Favored Skies. You know what I'm talking about? The give all your flyers +1/+1.
Sure.
Yeah, they have that relic
Yeah.
in play, and they have.
It looks like a granite ring.
And they
too?
have, yes, a Granite Ring, which is the pay 3 to give all your units +1 attack and overwhelm. We have a Moon Dial in play, which is the pay 5 draw card. In our hand, we just Victor's Feast, so we have a pretty hefty hand. We have an Unmake, which is 2 power, 2 time, destroy an enemy attachment, and then you could decimate to destroy a second one. We have Ela and Mizo, which is the 5 double Legion 6/6 that when Mastery 12, it makes a copy of itself. The something Cartographer, which is the 2/1 for 2 Primal that when you summon, draw a card, discard a card. The Power Burst, or whatever, the 0 cost, add 1 power until end of turn. The 0/1 Totemite. The 8/8 Giant, the 7/7 Corpse Wound for 7 time, and then a Primal Sigil and a Time Sigil. I think we started off with John last week, so let's send it over to you, Alex.
So there's a lot of cards in your hand, but I think it's pretty clear for me. I play a Primal Sigil, play Ela and Mizo, and play my 1/1 or my 0/1 Totemite. And I probably swing because it can't block anyway. Swing for 1. I'm like looking in here. Is like, is there a trick thing? Am I missing something here? You can maybe play the Cartographer, but you have so many cards in your hand and so many things to do. It's like you're guaranteed to be able to play the Corpse Bloom. You're guaranteed to be able to play your Giant. You could always save the Cartographer for when you like run out of gas. So that's what I would do. I would play Ela and Mizo and the 0/1 and pass the turn.
Okay. John, are you seeing anything else?
Yeah, I don't think it's that straightforward at all. At least it's not in my head here. I'm strongly considering Elon Mizo here because it's obviously the biggest thing you can do here. You can actually play. I mean, you could even just play the Corpse bloom on this turn if you want to just spend this power burst now. But like
Ooh.
you've got the 8/8 in hand. So like your opponent is obviously just stuck here, right? So like they're stuck on 3. We can like ramp literally to 7 right here if we want to. Like we're pretty set up. So like the world is our oyster. Like all we have to do is not die to these humbugs right now. So I'm actually giving some serious consideration to just unmaking literally both of these relics, which is like the only thing causing us any kind of problem for the foreseeable future here. But we're not really developed enough to put like I do like developing some before doing that first here. So yeah, I do think it is play the Ila and Mizo. So you play the Primal Sigil and then Ila and Mizo, and then like you could still consider the Power Burst and then like powering out. Yeah, I mean you could even just unmake this turn, but then I'd want to decimate, and then it's gonna be hard to get the 7 and the 8 drop out here. So like I don't really want to do that just yet. So yeah, it's play Illo Mizo, and then I wouldn't play the Totemite because like if the game, you know, if they do start hitting power drops and manage to jam you up here for a few turns, like that's the card I'm most wanting to just pitch to, you know, to the cartographer, to the whatever cartographer, or what
Yeah,
did Jedi call him?
Yeah, something like that.
So
Isn't it
yeah,
cartographer?
like
I got you. The whatever. Okay, fair.
yeah. So yeah, no, I think it is. I think I would just play Illa and Mizo here and attack with the 1/4. Do you have any board wipey type burn to draw into in the deck? Do you know? Or
No, I actually, to be completely honest with you, don't remember. Oh, we're running the fire is two sauropods. That's what the fire is.
oh wow, okay.
I think
Those are pretty good.
it's two sauropods. I think there might have been a display, but maybe not. I know for sure it was two sauropods. I typically my splashes are 2 to 3 cards, so I want to say this deck might have had one other fire card, but I know for sure it's two sauropods, which we never played the whole run.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I'm so like it's hard for me just to completely lock this in because I'm really tempted to just snap off this. What I'm not zoomed in on it. What is that? It's not an unmake, is it?
Wait, what?
It is.
Yeah, it's a number.
That is the name.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, that's not what the letters look like on my screen. It's just a little blurry for me. My bad. Yeah, like that's really tempting, but like I think it's more tempting to risk of a little extra damage over the next turn or two, and just make sure we can just power out our 7 and 8 drop here, because then we'll just overwhelm them with massive board presence while they're stuck. So I think that's the play. Yeah, just Ilan Mizo this turn, attack and develop.
Yeah, the interesting thing is the fact that our opponent is stuck on power. I think if they weren't, the unmake play would be a little more feasible because,
Right.
you know, as is, they can only do one thing a turn. If they activate the ring, yeah, they're getting them for 6, which is a 3-turn clock, but it also takes up their entire turn. So, and I mean, you can't get any better of an unmake, right? You get to take out 2 linchpins of their strategy.
Mhm.
So that's pretty solid, but I agree. The fact that we have so much expensive cards in our hand makes it a little less feasible. Plus, honestly, once again, the fact that it takes up their whole turn to activate the ring, and they're nowhere near activating the the skies or whatever that card is. God, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on it right now. Anywho, yeah, we have time, and if they want to take up their whole turn, not develop to get into additional damage, we're kind of okay with that. The overwhelm is not really a thing since we don't have any flyers in our deck. I do agree with you as far as not playing the Totemite here because I think that's going to be a clear cartographer discard. So I don't think I kind of like your play of
we're not needing chump blockers on the ground anytime soon here.
So, but I actually decided to capitalize on the tempo play since our opponent's stuck on power and we are, if anything, we're gonna lose to the Flyers. I actually went ahead and went with the first play you did or mentioned, where I still played the Primal Sigil, but I actually did Power Burst here to play Corpse Bloom.
Yeah, I
to
don't hate that at all.
bounce the humbug. And yes, I understand it's not that huge of a tempo play because the humbug does only cost 1, but it does change their clock significantly, and they do still have to replay it. So
Right.
if they have a 4-drop in their hand and they drop power, they have to figure out if they want to play the 4-drop or the humbug.
Yeah,
So
I like that because it's kind of the best of both worlds. And then like you don't even really need to worry about getting to the 8-8 really. Like if you do want to get to it, you can surely between cartographer draws, you know.
mhm.
But like you're already gonna have a 6-6, a 7-7 endurance. Like yeah,
And
I like that line.
it actually worked out quite well. My other reasoning behind it as well is the fact that if they kill the corpse boom, we still get something out of it.
True.
Be with the corrupted target versus the Ela Mizo and the giant. If they kill it, then that's one less thing they have to worry
Yeah.
about.
With those colors though, there's nothing they can really do to a corpse bloom.
They
At this,
they
you know,
did
with
kill
3
it.
power, 4 power.
They
Oh
actually
really?
did kill it. I don't remember what they did. I don't know if they like blocked and then hit it with a lightning strike. Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
think they
some
blocked. They
combination of
blocked and
cards
I
maybe.
think they blocked and Fighting Winds it, but
There
it
you go.
ended up still shooting them in the foot because they were so behind on tempo that I actually used the corpse bloom to the bounce one of their guys to get in. But yeah, that's the line I took because I felt it was just it was worth it. You know, a 7-7 and 8-8 are so close together at this point.
Hmm.
There is a reasoning to keep it the corpse boom for when they pay their 4, their 5 drop, but I just I don't know. It put a lot of pressure on the board, sent them back on tempo. It could block and attack, so I just went with that play, and then that way, when we hit 6, we could still play Ela and Mizo. We still had a couple options. So yeah, it's surprising enough we actually never unmaked that game because our opponent just wasn't able to take the time off to use those to
Yeah, I think
activate
with the
them.
pressure you're putting on by doing corpse bloom this turn, yeah, you'll just never even really need to deal with those things at that. Like, yeah, that's why I kind of like that line a lot. Like, yeah, you've convinced me. Like, I like that one the
Yeah,
best.
it puts us way behind on our giant, but we play corpse boom, we attack
You
with the
just don't
button.
care,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, pretty much. We're it might have been a little different if our opponent was not stuck on power, but the fact that they were, I think, just putting as much pressure to the board as quickly as possible and send back is enough to kind
Hmm.
of lock it in. So, all right,
No,
cool.
no consideration for just drawing a card off that sweet moon tile.
No,
No, no.
no. Like I like where your head's at to get more
I'm just
information,
kidding.
but I mean
No,
there is consideration for that, right? Because at the moment we have no answer, no
there
direct
would
answer
be
to their
if
flyers,
like
but
if they were you know, if they weren't just so completely stuck on power and you had if and you didn't have so much
yeah,
gas.
exactly. Our hand is just straight up
Yeah,
gas.
no,
Yeah,
I don't think it's actually in consideration. I was just joking.
no, but it's good to bring it up there, right? Because some people just like drawing all the cards.
I'm a bit of an addict, but even I would surely be restrained here.
Okay. Well, that's going to do it for our What's the Play this week, which brings us to our constructed corner. And, excuse me, a little bit of a unique one because we have the Peasant Tournament going on this weekend. We're going to go ahead and bring up and break down the deck from Dr. Pringles, which was our winner of the last tournament, which was pretty awesome, all things considered. They brought a pretty standard, really Combre aggro deck, and I thought it was great because the boogeyman of the tournament ended up being the cultist destruction deck that capitalizes
Yeah,
on, you know, even without Kato, the deck was just pretty strong. Going, obviously, the board wipes are few and far between in Peasant, and so they were able to out attrition a lot of their opponents, capitalizing on machinations and Carver and just the recursion of all that. And I think there were 3 in the top 8, and yeah, Dr. Pringles just managed to smash through 2 of them to take down the tournament. And of course there's the power of Peasant. It is only 5,400 shiftstone if you wanted to build this, and honestly, minus a few changes, I think this can actually be a decent ladder climber. It's very similar to the Combre deck I use to climb ladder whenever I have nothing else to play. So super interesting. But of course, Dr. Pringer's a very solid aggro player, and yeah, I was able to take it down in short fashion. Honestly, I think they, yeah, if I remember correctly, they took it down in 2 because the destruction player just couldn't handle the overwhelm with all their chump
I don't
blockers.
remember,
But all right, real quick to break down the deck, it is 4 Borderlands Lookout, 4 District Infantry, 2 Drawstrengths, 4 Finest Hour, 4 Omri's Choice, 4 Awakened Student, 1 Crown Watch Paladin, 4 Desert Marshal, 1 Displaced Arachnodon, 4 Fall Short, 4 Intrepid Longhorn, 4 Resolute Monk, 4 Auric Record Keeper, 3 Seasoned Drill Master, 3 Steel-Eyed Pistolier, a fan favorite of mine, 5 Justice Sigil, 6 Time, 4 Combray Banner, 4 Combray Insignia, 2 Crown Watch Standard, and 4 Seat of Progress. But yeah, pretty standard. Honestly, if you were going to climb ladder with it, I would probably just swap out maybe 3 cards for some rare action, and you'd be good to go. Honestly, this deck is pretty straightforward. Really, I like the fact that it has access to multiple overwhelm units. You're getting some pretty good bang for your buck on the 3 drop slot with a 4/4, a 3/3 that gives a +3/+3 to something else when it comes into play, so they can attack, and then obviously Steel-Eyed Pistolier, able to sneak out a massive amount of damage with the Renown trigger getting double damage for the turn. So if you're able to Omri's Choice it to give it overwhelm, it just powers through whatever's blocking it, and then if they don't block it, you can really smash face with Finest Hour and Draw Strength. The Lookout is not bad. At the time, it was still 3 health. Now it's 2 health, but I think it's still the fact that you can play a 3/2 half the time for 1 is pretty strong. District Infantry attack that has a 3/3 is pretty strong. Interesting call with Fall Short. I don't quite remember the meta completely.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's a really interesting 4 of medical. Like that's a meta call that obviously worked out really well.
Oh yeah,
in the
for
last
sure.
tournament.
It just smashes the destruction decks because they're both Carver and well, Burglar isn't a thing because it's a rare, but trying to think what else the deck ran that it anywho, yeah, I mean, even in this current format, right? Giants get killed by it, so interesting that it was a 4 of for sure. I would have probably been cool with a 2 of, but yeah, Collector, or correction, I'm sorry. Dr. Pringles ran 4 of them and to great success. I like the Displaced Arachnodon as a 1 of just for the occasional 2/2 that scouts, so I thought that was kind of neat.
To me, that just seems so random.
It really does. It really does. Maybe they were trolling. I don't know.
It's yeah, it's cheeky. I like it.
Like
just for that.
especially when there's right next to it, there's only
But I don't
one
get it.
Crown Watch Paladin. So I'm
Yeah, like why not a second Crown Watch Paladin instead? That's kind of I don't know. I feel like a Crown Watch Paladin attacks better generally, but obviously really values that scout here. Or so I mean,
I
there's
think
got to be
honestly,
a reason, right?
honestly, I'm wondering if it's just for the emerge, right? Getting the unblockable for a turn.
Could be.
I wonder, and then you just stack all your
It is a little
combat tricks
reach
on it. Yeah.
in a pair of colors that doesn't normally have any reach, really.
But then,
so that
see,
could be.
that makes me wonder why they're not running 2 of them and 0 paladins if that's what they wanted for. You know what I mean? Because I could see that. I could easily see somewhere in the mid game, you just shift it out for 1, and then in 3 turns you can dump all your combat tricks on it.
Yeah, it's definitely a great deck. Like you really just can't go wrong with aggro. In an unproven format, which obviously Peasant. We've only had the 1 tournament. And then this deck list obviously is solid, and it won the last tournament, so obviously a solid performer. But I do expect the archetype, or not archetype, the meta for this tournament to be drastically different than the last tournament because of all the nerfs and card changes that have happened since, and the destruction decks that, like you mentioned, were particularly prevalent in the last tournament, and I don't think they'll be nearly as represented this time, and I think there's going to be a lot more diversity.
Yeah, the other thing too about those tournaments is just because they end up in the top 8 isn't 100% a good signification of the deck or identifier as well, because there were only 2 Elysian Flyers in the deck in the format, and one of them had to drop out early. So I think the Elysian Flyers deck goes up against the Destruction deck very well because they just don't have answers to Flyers, and the Flyers don't care about all the ground chump blockers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
do you recall what sort of deck Camel Milk was running?
I think they were on Destruction, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, shout out to Camel Milk going 5-0 in the Swiss and then being like, cool, I gotta go, guys, later.
Yeah, if you're looking for a different, another one to look at it from all the lists that were posted from the last time, that's another one to take a look at because yeah, he did so good in the first stages of the tournament with that.
Actually,
and then he just had to leave. That was crazy.
Yeah, let me check real quick. Just out of curiosity, if they Camel Milk. Let me see if they're on Popper.
Yeah, if you're
Oh no, no,
hearing this
they
in
were
time,
on Xenon Killers. Actually, is there?
that's right. Yeah,
No,
those
no,
there
no,
was
no,
that was
no. I take that back.
was a good
No, no,
archetype.
I take that back. I'm sorry because it says Popper. So I don't know if it says event deck though. Camel Shimmer Pack, deck list, Budget Elysian Flyers, Racano, Destruction Practice Trove. Nope. Out of all the decks they have, Popper. Let me see. Yeah, this one's straight Popper, so I'm not 100% if this is what they ran. Oh yeah, this is definitely the deck that Popper event they ran. This is definitely the one. I saw a lot of this deck.
Oh yeah, that was like that same week. That was kind of confusing, right?
Yeah. So
that's not the right
yeah.
event.
Just in case they had saved it on Warcry, I was gonna check, but nope. But yeah, so definitely something if you guys are interested, if you're interested in climbing, definitely use this deck as a baseline and then modify it. I've climbed many of times the Masters using Combray aggro. You really just capitalize on stand strong, giving all your guys Aegis and that +1/+1. You get a lot of aggression on the board early, and then you use that as a combat trick to kill a couple of things because they try to make the most profitable blocks, and all of a sudden your guys are a little bit bigger. And then having Aegis on all your guys can negate a Hailstorm or a Harsh Rule, and you just keep pushing through damage. So definitely something to consider. And then, of course, might as well just, since we're talking about it, this weekend, Saturday, June 6th, you can check out, participate, donate, all those good things to our peasant charity event. Benefits going to Child's Play. Once again, is a charity that they purchase game consoles and age-appropriate video games to donate to hospitals that are catering to children that are intensive or long-term care there, or terminal care as well, and just to kind of ease their pain and their stuff and brighten up their day a little bit. Nurses play with them. I believe the organization also tasks out people to go in there and play with them as well. So it's a great organization. A lot of people in the community already support it, and that's why we have such a good turnout. The tournament is also completely free to enter, and with no campaigns or the Conjuring Cycle being legal, the barrier of entry extremely low. So come out, have a good time, and yeah, just check that out. We'll be broadcasting it. The entire team EternalJourney is going to be there helping me support and run the tournament, so it should run significantly smoother. I got a bunch of ideas for entertainment. We're doing thanks to Celtic Guardian, we're gonna have a bunch of giveaways in chat, a bunch of Steam games and things like that, so definitely check that out as well. Shout out to Cassendrath, that was one of the people that contributed to the prize pool. Cassendrath will be having the final voting session for his what's the card, or create a card. His community created a bunch of oozes. I submitted one as well, and he's allowing the community to vote on which card is going to be the one he proposes to Direwolf Digital to create. So definitely check him out the very next day, Sunday. He even scheduled it.
That is exciting.
Yeah, super exciting to see that's always great. I really appreciate how everyone's doing that. So yeah, it's considered a very positive pillar of the community, does a lot to support a lot of people, so definitely check his stream out the following day. He'll be participating in this charity event as well, and I gotta admit, he showed me the deck he's playing, and it's a pretty spicy brew. Of course, it's kind of funny. It's 100% a limited archetype that he just streamlined, so I think that's great.
I mean, that's why we are also into this style tournament, right? Like, it just, I don't know about you guys, but it definitely reminds me of like some of my favorite limited games. So,
do you know where you're playing yet, Alex or John?
No, but I have squeezed in a little brewing yesterday and today, but no, I haven't locked in a deck yet.
Neither have I.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. I've done a little bit of brewing for, yeah, speaking of which, Oh, perfect segue. Great. Awesome. If you are considering and not much of a brewer yourself, I have posted 2 videos to the YouTube channel. So there you go. Just go to youtube.com/EternalJourney. And my 2 latest videos include 6 different decks for the format that I or my community brewed up that I made deck techs on. So you can check that out and use that as a starting point for you to brew a deck for this weekend. And like I said, I'd be surprised if any of these decks cost you more than 6,000 shiftstone, because they're all commons and uncommons. So check that out. Of course, you can catch the tournament live every no, you can't catch it live catch it live this Saturday, but you can catch the 3 of us live every Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday at twitch.tv/Jedi_EJ. And of course, if you want to ask us some questions, talk to us, get some help on your sealed pools, deck list, picks for drafts, or even your draft deck, check us out in the Discord. We have a phenomenal community there. I'm really happy at how interactive and helpful the community is. We have players of all skill levels in there, so definitely check that out. Anywho, all right, that's gonna do it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed the show as usual. Look forward to seeing you on stream, but that'll do it. So until next time, as always, happy gaming.
Bye.
Good luck in your draft keys, everyone.